Hi everyone, I would have really loved to have been in beautiful California with you, with so many stakeholders who focus on the same thing that I work on, which is how to ensure new technologies foster and enable human rights and are not used to repress people. The technologies and services developed in Silicon Valley play an ever larger role in the lives of 2 billion people across the world. And this places a great responsibility in the hands of businesses as well as in the hands of decision makers. And we cannot do it alone. We face particular challenges as the parameters of lawmaking, nation states, do not match with the mostly global territory online. And I'm against over-regulating this space when it's not needed, but we may need regulations to ensure an open internet, net neutrality and competition. And as democratically elected representatives, our prime responsibility are the rights of rights holders, human rights of our citizens. The separation of powers is essential, and that means that self-regulation can never be the only answer. This re-territorialization of the web, its cutting up by governments but also by commercial players, is a major reason for concern. And additionally, an overemphasis on cybersecurity risks compromising freedoms online. To be short, technology has changed a lot, but not people's fundamental rights. And here businesses and governments have a shared interest to ensure people's freedoms so they can communicate more, access more information and connect over greater distance. Free societies and economic benefits go hand in hand. And under any circumstance, companies have responsibilities. As policymakers, we must not turn a blind eye to when technologies are used as a tool of repression and censorship, surveillance or detection. Put in the hands of people with wrong intentions, and adverse effects can easily be created when limits to freedom of expression or the press, or limits to the ability of communication with each other, documentation of human rights, are imposed. So some technological tools are actually designed to repress. Let's be clear about that. We need more transparency on these tools and on where they go. They're not consumer goods, and there are no incentives for the companies that produce them to be open and transparent because they don't have a reputation to save among masses of people. Rather, their consumers, their customers, seek these companies for their sophistication. And these companies are also among us in Europe and the United States. In 2011, we have clearly witnessed a number of serious rights violations in countries like Tunisia, Egypt, Syria, Libya and Iran, and in many other places. And in our societies too, governments are attempting to control people, to restrict fundamental rights via new technologies. We saw the British government fantasizing about a kill switch, and we witnessed the implications of the Patriot Act in the United States. These actions determine our credibility. It makes it very difficult to stand up for the free flow of information in China or for more free expression in Zimbabwe when we ourselves invoke national security or worse, copyright enforcement to monitor people and to block their access to the internet. Somebody recently asked me what really happened in Egypt, and the reality is we don't know. The internet was shut down for 2 days and European firms were involved. Now, would they have acted differently if we would have been supporting them politically? Let's make these lines of communication shorter, faster, and our shared responses smarter. Please join me in continuing this dialogue between businesses, human rights NGOs, users on the ground, and us decision makers. We need to share information, practical examples and knowledge, our experiences, so that we can develop an action plan and be sure and ready to give the appropriate responses when companies are ordered to violate human rights. And while I can't be with you, I look forward to these conversations and to looking at how new technologies can be made for the benefit of all people, and that we join hands in taking this responsibility and also in holding each other accountable for our commitments.